There's a powerful compensating factor when it comes to getting approved for funding on a personal or business side, especially when you're looking at programs that are business lending related that are trying to lean on your personal financials to help approve you. For example, that would be Chase's new credit modernization program, where they are allowing access to up to $250,000 for small businesses in funding and total exposure without documentation. They are going to be leaning extremely hard on your personal finances and credit when they make that decision. So if you don't have the best credit score or FICO score, if you don't have, if you have maybe even a couple negative items on there, nothing too crazy or too many, but maybe you have a couple negative items over the last couple of years, things were rough for you, or you just never paid attention to your credit, so it's under attended to, and you have a poor score just because you never really put time into building it up. How do you compensate for that to allow yourself to get access to the fuel you need to grow your business or start that business or expand your freelancing career? The number one tactic that I've seen when it comes to sticking just to credit that has worked really well for clients that I've personally helped, seen my colleagues in the banking space help, has been a bulky credit profile. I'm going to explain to you what that means and why. A bulky credit profile is basically where you have 20 or more trade lines on your credit profile. If you look at like your FICO chart, or you look at even like a Vantage Credit Karma, they will show you that the quantity of accounts doesn't really start to get serious or truly recognizable until you're at or above 20 or more trade lines on your credit profile. So with that being the case, when you're beyond that point, 20, 30, 40 different trade lines on your account, this goes a long way even when your score isn't that impressive, especially if it has some age to it. And the reason for that is because this gives banks more data points to analyze, especially if it's mixed really well, meaning that you have a balance of revolving and installment history. You have auto loans and student loans and credit cards and a mortgage. The more diverse it is, the more attractive it is. Even if the score isn't that great, you might find yourself getting better than normal approvals or even compensating for negative items on your credit report. And I'll give you an example with payment history. Again, I've given this example in videos before. If you have, one late payment and on your credit profile, and you only have, let's just say you have, 5 trade lines on your account, and it's 1 year's history, that basically means you at a maximum were only able to have 60 payments show up total for that year. Okay? So that basically means you have now a poor percentage on your payment history because you have 1 late payment out of 60 that you could have had, correct, during that year. When you look at payment history on a credit algorithm chart, it's based on percentages. So believe it or not, if you have over a 97% payment history or over 98 or 99, between 99 and 97, it's actually not ranked as bad. It still hits your credit, it still hurts like hell, but it's nowhere near as bad or detrimental as when it's below 97% payment history, on like percentage wise. So let's take that same example and say now you have, we'll just throw out a number and say 20 trade lines, as I mentioned. Same 1 late payment. Now you have 1 out of 240. If my math is correct, you have 1 out of 240 payments you could have had on time. You basically now have well over a 99% positive payment history. It's not 100, but it's 99%. It makes a significant difference in underwriting algorithms in that scenario. So I'm saying all that to say, you want the best opportunity to get your credit profile ready for all of these underwriting and lending changes and these funding opportunities that even really quality banks are starting to roll out. Bulk up your credit profile. Find small things. Don't get into any crazy debt, but just find small things you can add or do, or different trade lines that you can benefit from. Get the payment history on, pay it off, whatever that looks like. Find them. They don't have to be big. Obviously, if they're bigger, that could be more attractive in certain scenarios, but they really don't have to be big. You just want quantity. You want quantity and positive payment history and extended history. So find a way to bulk up your credit profile. I can assure you, so we put a dent and any challenges or obstacles you have on credit-dependent lending opportunities when it comes to your personal credit profile. To all my pioneers, welcome back. To my new viewers, welcome in. Want to learn more about myself and the channel? Start in the description section. Work your way to the about section on the channel. I want you to comment down below and let me know, do you have a thin credit profile? Have you paid attention to your credit profile? Do you have a bulky credit profile? What's the mix of it? How it's benefited you? Comment down below. Other than that, I want y'all to stay focused. Stay in motion. See y'all soon.
This is JP from Blueprint for Prosperity Network, a channel dedicated to helping you increase your net worth through relationship banking, maximizing your borrowing capacity, the proper use of life insurance, and the ownership of real estate. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading content on a daily basis to help you customize your blueprint for prosperity.